Jai Sriman Narayana. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Shankaracharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayana. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this live feed locally, nationally, and internationally, and I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse in the various groups that it is subsequently posted in. This discussion on the Bhagavad Gita is running simultaneously with Vishishtadvaita. And I've stated that the Bhagavad Gita is the essence of Sanatan Dharma. The four Vedas is the fountainhead of all philosophy that exists today. The four Vedas is the fountainhead of all the philosophies that exist today. The Vedas are spoken or breathed by Lord Sriman Narayana. It is infinite. The knowledge contained is infinite, incalculable. However, for the purposes of putting it into writing, it is contained within a few million verses. The Vedas are broken into four: the Rig Veda, the Yajur Veda, the Sama Veda, and the Atharva Veda. These Vedas are further broken into four and linked. The first two are linked and the second two linked. The first two is the Samhitas and the Brahmanas, and the second two is the Aryanakas and the Upanishads. There is only one absolute philosophy emanating from the Vedas, and that philosophy is Vishishtadvaita. Lord Sri Ramanuj re-established Vishishtadvaita philosophy direct from Vedanta. There is no difference between Vedanta and Vishishtadvaita. Adi Shankaracharya established the Dvaita philosophy. Adi Shankaracharya established the Dvaita philosophy, and Madhvacharya established the Dvaita philosophy, Adi Shankaracharya established the Advaita philosophy. So again, just to clear, Lord Sri Ramanuj re-established Vishishtadvaita, which is the breath of Lord Sriman Narayana, established and compiled in the four Vedas by Srila Vedavyas. Lord Sri Ramanuj re-established the philosophy of Vishishtadvaita, which is the breath of Lord Sriman Narayana, as compiled by Srila Vedavyas 5,000 years ago. All understand? Lord Sri Ramanuj did not create or establish his own philosophy. Adi Shankaracharya established the Advaita philosophy. What do you understand by that? What do you understand when I'm saying Adi Shankaracharya established the Advaita philosophy? He created, he personally created the Advaita philosophy. He personally created the Advaita philosophy. Are you understanding? Lord Sri Ramanuj re-established Vishishtadvaita, which was compiled by Srila Vedavyas in the four Vedas, which is the breath of Lord Sriman Narayana. Are you understanding? Madhvacharya established the Dvaita philosophy. What do you understand by that? Madhvacharya created the Dvaita philosophy. Lord Sri Ramanuj re-established the Vishishtadvaita philosophy as compiled by Srila Vedavyas, and it is the breath of Lord Sriman Narayana. What are we understanding here? One philosophy direct from Lord Narayan, re-established by Lord Sri Ramanuj. Advaita philosophy established by a saint. Dvaita philosophy established by a saint. Vishishtadvaita established by Lord Narayan. Which philosophy would you put your money in? Which bank would you put your money in? Strini? I want you to understand like this. How many of you heard of lotus loans? Many smiling. And how many of you heard of the Reserve Bank, Standard Bank, Absa Bank? How many of you will put your money in these recognized banks? And how many of you will put your money in the small money lending banks? Nobody. Nobody? Because it's your money. So why are you investing yourself in these man-made philosophies? Is a saint a man or not? Saint is a man. Why are you investing your spirituality in man-made philosophies? In which philosophy should you invest your spirituality? In which philosophy should you invest your spirituality?
Vishishtadvaita.
In a God-made philosophy, isn't it? Because the philosophy made by God will always be there. After a few thousand years, Advaita will be, Dvaita will be, only surviving philosophy will be. In every cycle, in every creation, there will only be one philosophy coursing through creation. And that will be the breath of Lord Narayan, which is encapsulated in a philosophy called Vedanta. There's no difference between Vedanta and Vishishtadvaita. what will happen to Advaita? Because it is not eternal. It's made by man, and man is prone to mistakes and cheating. Man is a great cheater, Rishi. You agree or don't agree? I'm not saying you, Rishi. I'm saying man. So what happens to the cheating philosophies? They don't last long. So I want you to imagine first let me establish, I used maths the last time. But then Dana came to Makutir and he said, Acharyaji, don't use these high. I bought my way, I cheated my way in school. And even basic mathematics is high. Please explain Vishishtadvaita to me in a simple way so I can understand. I went home, I was subtracting, adding, dividing, and multiplying, and I got such a headache. So I'm going to try and explain Vishishtadvaita now. Let's hope Dana can understand. If he doesn't understand, then the following week I'm going to explain Vishishtadvaita again in a more simplified way. Alright? So I want you to, the head of your family is who? Your father. Father has a son and a daughter. Alright? Father has a son and a daughter. The father, son and daughter is one in a sense that they all have the same DNA. They all have the same quality. One attribute of the father is in the two children and himself. This attribute is inseparable. So the son and the daughter is inseparably linked to the father. And this is what we call oneness. The oneness of the father, the son, and the daughter is the DNA. In this sense, we can say they are one by virtue of this attribute that is common to the father, to the son, and to the daughter. Then the father and the son has oneness in that they are both mates. So father and son, I can call Rishi's son. How's it, Rishi? And he'll answer, because he is the son of his father. Junior Rishi. You understand? Is it accepted? Yes, it's accepted. He has oneness with his father in that both are males. Alright? Then the daughter, I can't tell her how's it, Rishi, because they are not of the same gender. They are distinctly different. The father and the daughter distinctly different. But they have the same DNA, so they are one in terms of DNA, different in terms of gender. Then the son and the daughter are born from Rishi, and they are distinct, that Rishi is an individual and his two children are born from him. First birth, Rishi gave to the two children. Second birth, can't imagine being pregnant. He's trying to think now. When was I pregnant? You see? First birth is given by the male. The soul enters the semen of the male. The soul enters the semen of the male. When the male plants the semen in the ovary of the female, that is the first birth. When the male plants the seed in the ovary of the female, that is the first birth. The second birth is when the child is physically born from the womb of the mother. Guru is right or Guru is wrong? Guru is right or Guru is wrong? Guru is right. Then we come to the question, which twin is bigger? The one born first or the one born second? Natasha, which twin is bigger? The one born first or the one born second? Natasha says the one born first. All of you in agreement with Natasha, put your hands up. Hands up, more hands up. I think these devotees are aware of all Guru's trick questions. They don't know the answer, but they know there's a trick in the question. So who is born first, Natasha? Is bigger. Okay, let's look at the ovary as a test tube. Let's look at the ovary as the test tube. Let's look at the soul that was planted first in the ovary. When will that soul leave the ovary? Second? So which of the twin is bigger? Satish, you got a twin brother? Looking very depressed. I thought you was a younger twin. Thinking why you was abused by the older twin all your life when you was the older twin. That's a look you got on your face. Anyone got twins here? I feel sorry for all the twins in the world. Right? I had twin brothers that was renovating my house when I corrected who was small and who was big, and they were really upset with each other. And I think they're still upset today. Okay, but are you understanding? Spiritual science is absolute. Material science is always catching up. It's relative, it's catching up. Whatever is stated here cannot be disputed. Whatever is stated here today by me cannot be disputed. And I'm stating that Lord Sri Ramanuj is the most absolute saint who commentated on Vedanta. And any other saint is and will always be relative to that absolute truth. And I'm endorsing the Sri Ramanuj Sampradaya as absolute in terms of Vedanta and the Vedas. I'm also stating that what you hear here will always be the absolute truth, because it is the breath of Lord Sriman Narayana. Okay, so we understood now oneness. Oneness means sharing the same attribute. Alright? So Rishi and his son, they are males, they're sharing the same attribute. Rishi and the daughter, male and female, the common attribute there is the DNA. The daughter is distinct from the brother and also from the father. The father is distinct from the son and daughter, and the son is distinct from the father and the sister. So there is oneness in a common attribute. Can you say Rishi and his son is one? Can you say Rishi and his son is one? In conclusion, that there is no difference between Rishi and his son. Can you say that? That is now the Advaita philosophy. The Advaita philosophy says that God and the soul is one and material nature is an illusion. Is the tree an illusion? Do you eat vegetables from the tree? Does it nourish your body? Can it be an illusion? If you smack yourself hard, will you feel pain? Your body is made of material nature, and if you feel pain, can it be an illusion? So this philosophy, can any sane person follow a philosophy like this? If material nature is an illusion, and if this world is an illusion superimposed on God, that is what they are saying, and God is only an energy, God is not a person, all right? Advaita philosophy is saying this. Then what happens to the guru and disciple? Guru is an illusion, disciple is an illusion, Vedas is an illusion. How will you ever get liberated? Ready? All right? So you have to be really intoxicated, highly intoxicated with drugs, alcohol, I don't think then you'll be able to still understand this philosophy. You still then won't be able to understand this philosophy. So in every satsang of mine, I'm discussing the Bhagavad Gita, but I'm also bringing in these counterfeit philosophies. Counterfeit philosophies, so that the world can rid themselves of these philosophers and link to the absolute truth. And that would be my life's mission. Okay? My life's mission would be to persist unabated the Vishishtadvaita philosophy, and in the light of truth, what happens to the darkness of untruths? They have to dissipate. They have to dissipate. In the light of absolute truth, what happens to the darkness of untruths? Are lies bright or dark?
Dark.
Lies are dark. Truth is
Light.
bright. When you switch on the truth, what happens to the lies?
Disappears.
This is what we are attempting to dissipate the false philosophies. Because if you go on the internet now, they'll tell you there are 3 schools of thought in Vedanta. How many schools of thought? 3 schools of thought in Vedanta. They'll say it's Adi Shankar and his Advaita philosophy, Lord Sri Ramanuj and his Vishishtadvaita philosophy, Sri Madhvacharya and his Dvaita philosophy. They're making a mistake. Lord Sri Ramanuj never claimed
that philosophy to be his. He merely re-established and restated Vedanta as it really is. That's all Lord Sri Ramanuj did. And it's a damn lot, because he spent 120 years of his life doing all of this. So he didn't get up one day. So in the Vedanta text, there is discussion on oneness. There is discussion on oneness, where it is stated that Rishi's son and Rishi has the same DNA, therefore they are one. It is stated in that context. It is stated in that context. Then it is stated that Rishi and his son are different, distinctly, because they are only one in the sense of their attribute. So Madhvacharya took that context and he said the soul and God is distinctly different. And he brought in the philosophy of plurality. Madhvacharya, Sri Adi Shankar, he took that part of the Vedas that stated the oneness, and he brought in the philosophy of Advaita. Vedanta states that, as I'm stating, that in respect of that attribute they are one, and respect of the individuality they are different. But you cannot separate the DNA from the daughter or the son. So both are intrinsically linked to Rishi. So similarly, material nature and the individual soul is the attribute of Lord Narayan and intrinsically linked. Intrinsically linked. When they are intrinsically linked, they are one, but in terms of the individuality, they are distinctly three different entities. Are you understanding? And that is what Vedanta states. That is what 108 Upanishads is stating. That is what the Vishnu Purana is stating. That is what the Itihasas, the Mahabharata is stating. And that is what Valmiki's Ramayana is stating. So I'm saying, I'm Acharya Sham Ramanuj, I'm also re-establishing what Lord Sri Ramanuj re-established. I'm not creating any new. This information I'm giving you is not new. It's not a philosophy, it's not a sub-philosophy, it's not a branch of a philosophy. Whatever I am giving you is exactly from Lord Sri Ramanuj, verbatim, and whatever Lord Sri Ramanuj gave is verbatim Vedavyas, and whatever Vedavyas gave is verbatim the breath of Lord
Narayan.
So to sum up, Vedanta is Vishishtadvaita, and Vishishtadvaita is Vedanta, and there is only one school of thought in Vedanta, Vedanta itself. There is only one school of thought in Vedanta, Vedanta itself, and those that follow the school of thought of Vedanta are known as followers of Sanatan Dharma, colloquially known as Hindus from around the world. So to be a Hindu, it is this philosophy that has to be followed as the absolute truth. Okay? Now enough of the spiritual science. I can see people are gone hungry. Is she?
She is closest to the food. I think some beautiful smells are permeating from Kunita Beni's whatever she prepared and paddy. Alright? So let us understand Sanatan Dharma graphically. And this is the best time where you can close your eyes and the Guru will unpack. The Guru will unpack now the statements that the Guru made. Okay? So I want you to envision a huge town. Can you envision a huge town? And all of us are living in this huge town. And I want us to envision a freeway that is crossing this town. A freeway that is crossing this town. You can see it's a beautiful freeway. It's huge. It has many lanes, 6 lanes. But this freeway is only going in one direction. This freeway is only going in one direction. There is no return. Alright? And you're living in this beautiful town. You're living in this beautiful town. Every now and again, some guru comes and talk about this freeway. But then you think about your house, all your friends in this town, the money in the bank that's in this town, all the butcher shops in this town, all the merchants in this town, all the bottle stores in this town. And you don't want to take the freeway. You are established. Ready? You well established in this town. Alright? But now and again you see cars going up that freeway. They're all going in one direction. And now and again your mind might think, hey, I'd like to explore what's there. But then again your mind tells you everything is great here. Have a beautiful life that sings so well, that feeds me so well. She sang for my birthday so well. Is there something more valuable on that freeway? No, or rather, stick around. Next year I might have a better song, better food. Okay? So the Creator, Lord Sriman Narayana, created this town. He created this town and he left it upon the individual. Lord Sriman Narayana always gave the soul its individuality. So he left it to the soul, whether the soul wants to live in this town, whether the soul wants to marry in this town, whether the soul wants to work in this town. And for those that want to stay in the town, he created the Brahmanas and the Samhitas in the Vedas. He created the Samhitas and the Brahmanas in the Vedas. And he said, you all want to live in this town, you all have to pay your obeisances to the mayor, to the premier. Alright? And in that he created rituals. The Brahmanas and the Samhitas have rituals. So you can pay Indra your obeisances for rain, so that rain can grow your vegetables, so you can be nourished with nice food. Your cow can be nourished with the vegetables, so you can be nourished with
Nice. You see, only thing other than water God said you must drink is milk. Only thing other than water God said must drink is milk. No fruit juices, no orange juices, no any kind juices, no other liquids, only milk. Is milk endorsed in the Vedas or not? Yeah, you saw Lord Sri Krishna when he came down, small boy, when you see between Aarti, he is milking the cow. Alright? Chris, what God said must drink? That is, what God said must drink? Besides water? Yeah. Sasha, you're smiling. So in this town, there's a rule and regulation set by the Creator. Who's the Creator? Lord Narayan. He set rules and regulations how you must live in this town. You can perform your rituals, you can get a pandit. In South Africa, people made their own rules, which they call kata and janda. No kata and janda in the Vedas, but in South Africa, we got our kata and janda, and we have our katas and our jandas. These are, and we're busy living in this town. Our great-grandparents lived in this town. Our parents lived in this town, and we are now living in this town. We're getting married, we're having children, and we're living in this town, but there is a highway, one-way highway that's passing through this town. There is a one-way highway that's passing through this town. Then some of us want to go to Paddy and live in another town. Alright? Some of us want to go live in another town. So we jump on this highway and we take and when you come off the highway, what's that small road called? What's that small road called? Off-ramp. Alright? So some gurus jump on this highway and they establish their own philosophies. They jump on the same highway and they establish their own philosophies, and some leave the town and follow these gurus. As these gurus are moving, as soon as they establish their own philosophies, they have to take a off-ramp. Because if the philosophy is off, what you have to take? Off-ramp. Off philosophy, off-ramp. So the Advaita followers have taken an off-ramp from Lord Narayan, and the Dvaita philosophies have taken an off-ramp from Lord Narayan. The followers think they're on the highway, but they just created another town. They just created another town. The living conditions in the first town is exactly the same as the living conditions in this second town. Are you understanding? So Lord Sri Ramanuj his vehicle and his guru in his parampara, all his gurus on this parampara call this highway Vishishtadvaita. All Sri Ramanuj gurus in the Sri Sampradaya call this highway Vishishtadvaita, and on this highway, if these followers jump on this highway, there is no offerings. So false philosophy will take you in an off-ramp. False philosophy will take you in an off-ramp, alright? On this highway, there are 6 toll roads. On this highway, there are 6 major toll roads. And Lord Sri Krishna ascended. When you ascend, you are called an avatar. Descended. When you descend, it's called an avatar. Lord Sri Krishna descended 5,000 years ago to explain to all the town folk, and also all the counterfeit philosophers. He came to teach them how to pass these 6 toll roads. In every human, I was speaking to somebody, I think 3 or 4 days ago. I don't want to mention his name outside here. And he asked me something and I explained a concept to him. And he said, Acharya ji, but I'm only human. He said, Acharya ji, I'm only human. So I asked him, why? For whom was the Vedas breathed? For the gurus or for humanity?
Humanity.
This satsang is run on logic and what sense, Natasha? Common sense. Alright? The Vedas was compiled for gurus or humanity, humankind. For Mina? Not for gurus. Gurus are born from the Vedas. Gurus take their birth from the Vedas. There's no difference between the substance, the Vedas, and the substance, the Guru. That's why the Guru can sit here without going to any school in his lifetime and give you all the imports of the Vedas. Because there is no difference between the Guru and the Vedas. So the Vedas was compiled for who? Mankind. So when the Guru is teaching you, don't use the excuse, I'm only human. Vedas is for human. If I go and speak this Vedas to my turkeys outside, you think they'll listen to me? Because it's not for them. It's for you. Alright? So this highway which you look now and again, that's overhead, is your freedom. This highway, as much as you are engrossed in your town and all your relationships in this town, when you look up at this highway is your freedom called Vedanta. Freedom called Vedanta. Okay? Lord Sri Krishna took his avatar form to re-establish, I'm using the word re-establish Vedanta. To re-establish Vedanta. Because not even God will change Vedanta. After he created it, he will present it as it was created. You understand? So Lord Sri Krishna did not create his own philosophy. Whatever is stated in the Bhagavad Gita is found in the Upanishads. Whatever is stated in this Bhagavad Gita is found in the Upanishads. And Upanishads is Vedanta. And Vedanta means end of knowledge. So Lord Sri Krishna took his avatar form to re-establish Vedanta and take you on this highway and teach you about the 6 toll roads. The 6 toll roads. Are you all ready for the toll roads? You pack your vehicle, load your stuff. Fuel is for free. You'll get a card. A card stating I am a Sri Vaishnavite card. You get a Sri Vaishnavite card. This card you can use in all the service stations on this highway. You can use this card in all the service stations on this highway. The Sri Vaishnavite card is the principal card, like Kentucky. You get Kentucky in all the highways, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'm using the word Kentucky because it is international and those international viewers will understand what I'm saying. Alright? But you can buy a franchise of Kentucky and run your own Kentucky on this highway. So the franchise is the Brahma Sampradaya, the Kumara Sampradaya, and the Rudra Sampradaya. The principal Sampradaya is the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. The franchise is the Brahma Sampradaya, the Kumara Sampradaya, and the Rudra Sampradaya. When you take the Sri Vaishnava card, you can eat at any of these franchise restaurants with this card. You can fill up at any of these franchises with this card because this card is the principal card. And that is the condition with these franchise sampradayas. That if anyone moves with this card and eat in your restaurant, they must eat for free. You understand? All of you understand? So when you jump on this visit, you want anything else added on your card, or just food is fine. Alright? This card, when the only payment you got is the very first toll road. Your toll fees is anger. at the very first toll road, your toll fees is anger. And you have to pay that toll in full. You have to pay that toll in full before you can proceed to the next toll. But it is a process because the next toll is far away, not free. There's no free toll. Next toll is far away. You can drive at what speed you want. Speed is yours. So you go to the first toll and you make a submission that I am now, from this point, going to relinquish anger. Up until you reach your next toll, which is lust. Next toll is lust. You must get rid of anger. When you go to the next toll, when you put your card in, it's like a breathalyzer. It must show no. From that point on, you must start removing lust. So, on this highway, eventually you have to lose anger, lust, hatred, greed, envy, and pride. Then you're on your road to Vedanta. And that is what Lord Sri Krishna came to teach. So the last verse that I read, anyone?
13.
Chris, what was the last verse I read? Oh, Chris wasn't in the last satsang. Verse?
13.
So verse 14 of the Sri Ramanuja Gita Bhashya, which means the absolute commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. This is exactly the message that Lord Sri Krishna gave. It is only in this Bhagavad Gita that the full purport of the message of Lord Sri Krishna is given. The contact of their senses with the objects, O Arjuna, gives rise to feelings of cold and heat, pleasure and pain. They come and go, never lasting long. Endure them, O Arjuna. Okay? And his comment on that, and I'm quoting Lord Sri Ramanuj, as sound, touch, form, taste, and smell with the bases are the effects of subtle elements. They are called matras. The contact with these through the ear and other senses give rise to feelings of pleasure and pain in the form of heat, cold, softness, and hardness. The words cold and heat illustrate other sensations too. Endure these with courage till you have discharged your duties as prescribed by the scriptures. The brave must endure them patiently as they come and go. They are transient. When the karmas which cause bondage are destroyed, this coming and going will end. Okay? So let us go back now to our town. These feelings are most felt in the town. Because once you detach from this town, Once you detach from this town, it means you have identified yourself as the soul. As long as you are the body, you will be staying in this town. And these feelings, hot and cold, is felt by the soul or is it felt by the body?
Body.
Felt by the body. Happiness and sadness, is it felt by the soul or the body? By the body. Hunger and thirst is felt by the soul or the body? Body. So Lord Sri Krishna came down to tell you, please leave this town. Find a guru. Surrender to that guru because he knows this highway. He knows this highway well. He knows where the off-ramps are. He also knows where the speed traps are. He knows where the first aid kit is, and he is identical to a traffic cop on the highway. He will give you the true direction. Don't try to bribe him. Jessica, when last you attended my satsang? Some time ago. That time when you attended, I don't think you can see these faces. And the hall was full. Hall was full. They thought they could bribe the police officer on the highway. On this highway, there's no bribery. As soon as you try to bribe the police officer, we don't wait for the next off-ramp. This highway is on 10-meter high stilts. We just throw you over. And you fall into anyone's town. You fall into anyone's town. You understand? But we had quite a few snakes, Jessica. Yeah, so we dropped them in Snaky Town. They are still writhing among themselves. Okay, many of them have found absolute bliss in this town of snakes. Alright? So this is the system. This is the system. You can stay as you are for the rest of your life, or you can take the highway. Follow the Guru, come out of imprisonment, and be happy. And you can do it as a family. You can do it as a family, and you can do it with your friends. The Guru got unlimited seating. Guru got unlimited seating on his vehicle. Alright? So when you're ready, come and take a card from the Guru. When you're ready, come and take a card, and the Guru will stamp your two arms. Guru will stamp you on your two arms and give you a name. And that will be your PIN code for your card when you go along this highway. And you'll definitely reach Vaikuntha. You'll definitely reach Vaikuntha. So this is what this verse is saying. When you stay in this town, the eyes want to see beautiful things in the town. Eyes want to see beautiful things in this town. And when the eyes do not see beautiful things, the body gets upset. Yes, again. Eyes want to see beautiful things. The ears want to hear very sweet voice of the wife, sweet singing voice of the wife, not the shrilly, hard, screaming, churalia voice of the wife. What the ear want to hear, but what the tongue wants to taste. The sense with the object. The sense is the tongue, the object is that which it lusts for. So on this highway, if you remove all the lust from all the senses, Natasha, somebody must be videoing if you're doing this.
No, it's on. It's still on. We're just creating a hotspot.
Okay? So if you remove the lust from your five senses, what will happen? You won't be lustful. Your eyes won't be lustful for beautiful images. Your ears won't be lustful for beautiful sounds. Your tongue won't be lustful for beautiful taste. All the senses will be neutral. And when your senses are neutralized, what happens to the mind? Mind becomes neutral. And when the mind is neutral, what happens to the soul? The soul can see now through the clear lenses. All of you understand? And this is why you need a guide in that bus called a. You see? Can you see the importance of a guru? You, Benny, can you see the importance of a guru? Because the guru's job is to take you and place you on this highway. And not leave you. Make sure he takes you through all these toll roads. Make sure he takes you through all these toll roads and give you a certificate in the end. And which is the end? Yes. And which is the end? Death. When you die, the Guru will know whether you passed your exams or not. But you'll be born in a town closer to wherever you die, you'll be born in a town adjacent to your death in terms of your spiritual merits. You understand? You won't go back to your first town, Rishi. You won't go back to your first town. Wherever your soul left the body, in proportion to the end of your destination, Vaikunth, that's where you take birth. In the conditions of your temperament at that point when you left your body. All of you understand? And that is why you are seated here today. All of you that seated here today is from your last birth, where you left the highway. Now you are back on the bus. But like your previous birth and like all your future births, if you remain in this material universe, God leaves the individual to his own choice. Whether you want to be in this bus, how long you want to be in this bus, and when you want to leave this bus, it's up to you. It's up to the individual. So you came to this bus, the Guru is giving you directions to where this bus is going. Many people don't like the directions to where this bus is going. Many people don't like the direction, so they press the bell and jump off at the next stop. And that is why we had people here for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, some 4 years, then they jumped off because the direction was not appealing to them, because their senses were fixed on the objects. This verse, all the people that jumped off my bus, ASRF, luxury cruises, fully aircon to Vaikunth. Alright, they jumped off this bus because their senses were still fixed to their objects. Okay? So when you jump in this bus, the process of the senses leaving the objects must start. Must start. You can't be the same when you was in the town and in my bus. You can't be the same when you was in the town and now you in my bus. Because when you start a journey, there's a difference, as in standing in the same place. So there must be a change in locality and also a change in mindset. Are there any questions? Any questions? Yes, again, you think it was worth it coming to the satsang today? After a year, I think. Yeah, after a year you landed. You think it was worth it?
Yes.
Alright, you can come and see me for the bus ticket. Alright. I think I'll call this bus ASRF Uber. Every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. Jai Sriman Narayana.